Hey lovelies, thank you for clicking. This is Joanna. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this shirt design. Let's get straight to the tutorial. Okay, so now for the materials, I have about 1 yard of the African print fabric and then a yard for the plain fabric, a piece of chalk, a measuring tape, and then a pair of scissors. Okay, so I'm first of all going to cut the back part of the shirt using the African print fabric. Now consider that of your chest circumference divided by 4 and add your sleeve length to it. So the shirt circumference that I'm using divided by 4, I'm going to add about 6 inches for the sleeve. Remember, we are going to cut the sleeve together with the with a shirt, so that's what I'm making now. So like I said, you divide your chest circumference by 4 and then you add your sleeve length plus your side seam allowance and then the join at the center part of the shirt. Remember, this is a 2/2 um, shirt. That is, we have a plain side and then the African print side. So that's what I'm marking. Okay, so I'll go ahead and extend the lines, then I move on to the length of the shirt. Okay, so remember we are cutting the back part of the shirt. So to do that, consider that of the length of the shirt, which is 29 inches. Then you add extra 2 inches for the shoulder drop. And then you add additional 2 inches, which you are going to use 1.5 inch for the folding of the down part of the shirt, and then the 1/2 inch to join the shoulders together. So 29 plus the additional 4 inches will give us 33 inches. So that's what I marked. So I'm going to extend the lines together. I hope you understand this explanation. For the back parts of the shirt, it is 2 inches longer than the front part of the shirt. So add 2 inches for the shoulder drop and then add additional 2 inches or more depending on how you want to fold the down part. Add additional 2 inches or more to the measurement for the folding at the down part and then the shoulder joint. So that's it. I cut a single piece of the African print fabric for the back part of the shirt. Now I'm going to use the same African print fabric and then cut the front part of the shirt. We're going to use the same width that we used for the back part, which is divide your chest circumference by 4, add your sleeve length, and then add your side seam allowance depending on how loose you want your shirt to be. Depending on how you want the shirt to be eased on you. So that is it. Okay, so that is it for the width. Let's go to the length. Remember I said that the length is 29. We are going to add just 2 inches for the folding at the down part and then the joint at the shoulder. Remember the back part, like I said, is 2 inches longer than the front part of the shirt due to the shoulder drop. That is, after stitching, you realize that the back part shoulder drops forward to the front part of the shirt. So that is it also being marked. So I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so this is it for the front part. I'm going to use this single piece of the front and then the other single piece of the back to cut the same pieces for the plain fabric as well. Okay, so that has been done. I went ahead to cut the same pieces for both the front and then the back parts of the shirt. So we are now going to join this together. We are going to join this together. Make sure the right side of the plain fabric is facing the right side of the African print fabric. Then I'm going to join this with 1/2 of an inch. That's what I'm marking right there. So join this with 1/2 of an inch of that of the back part of the shirt and then the front part of the shirt. So I'm done with the joint. I went ahead to flat iron this. I went ahead to open up the seam and then I flat ironed it. I did same for the back part as well. So guys, I'm not going to cut the neckline, so I make sure that the seam lines matches each other, both the front and the back part of the shirt. And I made a mistake here. Before you cut the neckline, make sure you place them on each other to make sure that the plain fabrics are matching on. If they are on the left hand side, it should both the back and then the front part should be at the left hand side or the right hand side, same as that of the African print fabric. I forgot to do that, so I just realized the mistake I did after cutting the neckline. Okay, so let's go. We are going to mark starting from the seam line. So from the seam line, I'm going outward from the seam line 2.5 inches. Okay guys, so I just flipped it to the African print fabric side to make the markings visible. So like I said, the width for the neckline is 2.5 inches and then the depth for the front part is 2.5 inches. But then for the back part, the width remains 2.5 inches, but then the length, the depth of the neckline for the back part is 1.5 inches. And I went ahead to do the marking on the front part of the shirt, as you can see me doing. Now go ahead and give this a curve, giving it a round neck shape. I'll do same for the back parts as well. I'll then go to the side of it and come down 1 inch for the shoulder slope. This is optional though, but then it makes your work somehow neat. So okay, so from here, divide the chest circumference by 4. Mark that and add how easy you want your shirt to be. At least an inch allowance for easiness, and then you go ahead and add 1 inch seam allowance or stitching allowance. Then you mark that out. Mark half of your shoulder to shoulder measurement like this. Then add your sleeve length to it. Add your sleeve length, then add about 1.5 inches for the folding of the sleeve. Okay, now for the sleeve length, this is also optional depending on how wide or how long you want your sleeve to be. So I came down 10 inches, this is normal. Then I went ahead to connect the sleeve to that of the side of the shirt. So I'll go ahead and extend the line. Now mind you, we are not going to cut this right now. We are going to first of all cut the necklines, the shoulder slope, and then we join the shoulders before we are going to cut this side out. So I went ahead to give the back neckline a round neckline, and then the front part also a round neckline. So I cut this together before I put out the front part of the shirt to cut the neckline. Remember, the difference for the neckline is that the back neckline is 1.5 inches for the depth, and then the front one is 2.5 by 2.5. Alright, so that is done. We've cut the necklines and then the shoulder slope. So I'm going to join this. So this is where I realized that I made a mistake of not looking at the placement of the plain fabric and then the Ankara fabric. So this is it. You should have placed it like this to make sure the plain side is matching that of the plain side of the back part of the shirt and that of the African print as well. Okay guys, so this is to caution you to be careful when you are cutting. If assuming this is for a client, just have to find your way out of coming out of this situation. So Like the saying, every mistake is a new start. You're going to go ahead with it. I just wanted to caution you so that when you're making it for a client or you're making it yourself, you consider the placement of the fabrics before you cut out the necklines. So let's move on. We move. You're going to join the shoulders with half of an inch. Alright, so we just joined the shoulders. So what next is that I'm going to make sure that um, the down parts, which is the length of the back parts and then the front part of the shirt are equal. So make sure you pull the front part, join that of the back parts like this, and straighten it up like this. So this is the shoulder drop that I'm talking about. So after achieving this, go ahead and fold this again to be able to cut out the side. Make sure the centers for the fronts, for both the front and the back parts, tally. Are equal. Place them together like this before you go ahead to cut that off the side. Okay, now before we do the cutting, I just wanted to make sure that I'm okay with the sleeve length before we do the cutting. But then we are going to go up from the down part of the shirt to create that of um, the size slit for the shirt. So I'm going up 7 inches. This is optional. This depends on how long you want your size slit to be. And I'm going up 7 inches. Then I'm going to add 1.5 inches for the folding like this. I came out 1.5 inches for the folding of the side slit opening. So this is how we are going to cut following the chalk direction like this. Then you move on like this. We go up and then continue with the cutting. Okay, so opening it up, this is how it came out after cutting. So we are going to be attaching that of the zipper at the front part of the shirt. So I came down 6 inches. Then I'm going to open up the seam from there up to where the 6 inches is. Before then, I'll go ahead and pipe the necklines before we attach the zipper. You can also give this a facing if you want. So like I said, I'm going to pipe the neckline before I attach the zipper. So I'm going to fold the ankara fabric on bias. You can use the plain fabric as well. So I'll fold the ankara fabric on bias, fold, and cut the piece um, for the piping. You can also go ahead and use a cotton bias if you want. Or better still, give it a facing. So I went ahead to fold up the bias that I just cut. So I cut about 1.5 inches for the bias, then I went ahead to fold it. If you don't want to pass through this stretch, just use cutting bias or setting bias, whichever that you prefer. So this is it. Like on fold like this, I'm going to start up at one side of the neckline like this. On fold like this, I'm going to stitch it all around with about 1 centimeter. Okay, so I went ahead to give these notches all around. Be careful you don't cut through the neckline. Now fold the bias down like this after notching and then top stitch this all around. Okay guys, so this is how it came out after piping the neckline. So what next is we are going to be folding the sleeve side. We are going to folding it up to top stitch it. So first of all, fold up 1/2 inch and then I'll fold up again 1 inch. and then flat iron it before taking it to the same machine to top stitch it. Now go ahead and do same for the other side of the sleeve as well. So after this, I'm going to take it to the same machine to top stitch them. So this is how it came out after stitching down the sleeves. Okay, so I'll go ahead and then fix the zipper at the front of the shirt. So let's go ahead with that. So I went ahead to turn it to the right side of the shirt. Okay, now to fix the zipper, I'm going to place a zipper under the shirt like this. Then I'll fold down the upper part of the zipper. Then I'm going to stitch it, I would stitch in such a way that the teeth of the zipper will be showing as down part here. So I'll come down from the top, then I'll curve and then go up from the other side. Sorry, I couldn't capture that on the sewing machine. So this is how the zipper came out. This is it. This is how it came out. So that is done. I'm going to turn it to the wrong side and then we are going to join the sides together. So remember we added 1 inch seam allowance, so that's what I'm going to be using to join the sides. So I'll stitch from here, from the sleeve I'll come here 1 inch and then curve it down and stitch up to where the side slits open it are. So this is how it came out after joining them. This is what I meant. So like this, so like I said, that's the side slits where we ended with the stitching. So now I'm going to be folding the down part of the shirt first before we go about the side slit. So I'm folding up 1/2 inch like this. Remember we added 1.5 inch for the side, sorry, for the folding at the down part. So first of all folded 1/2 inch like this. I'll flat iron it and then I'll fold up again 1 inch and flat iron it before I take it to the same machine to stitch it down. I'm going to do same for the other side of the shirt as well. Now I'm going to take it to the same machine to top stitch both the front and the back part folding at the hem of the shirt. So this is how it came out. So we are left with the side slits opening. So that's basically it. We've already added some seam allowance. So like I just did, fold in 1/2 inch and then fold down the 1 inch allowance that you have for the side slit. I'll do same for the other side. First of all, fold in 1/2 and then fold again 1 inch. I'll do it for the other side or the back part of the shirt as well. Fold 1/2 inch down like this and fold again 1 inch and then do it for the other side as well. Okay, now that this has been achieved, take it to the same machine, stitch stitch upward, cross to the other side and then stitch downwards. Do the same for the other side. So this is how our shirt came out. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Keep being amazing wherever you are. That's the side slits. Subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed yet. Like this video, share this video, leave a comment if you enjoyed this tutorial. Bye.